God! 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 God!
I thought he was reaching for a gun, so I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? That's what he's done. He's gonna murder me or something.
Yeah. And then what did you do?
I shot him.
I am sorry for taking our parents and our kids. You know, I wish I can take it back, but reality is that we can't.
Hello everyone, you are watching the USA News channel. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video to support me. Cyntoia Brown, who was handed a life sentence as a teenager for killing a man she said had hired her for sex, has been released from a Tennessee prison. Brown has spent 15 years of her life behind bars for the murder. She walked free on Wednesday and will remain on parole, according to the Tennessee Department of Corrections. I look forward to using my experiences to help other women and girls suffering abuse and exploitation, Brown said in a statement after her release. I thank Governor and First Lady Haslam for their vote of confidence in me and, with the Lord's help, I will make them, as well as the rest of my supporters, proud. Brown's case drew national attention following documentaries and support from high-profile celebrities, who pointed to the case as an example of racial inequality in the U.S. criminal justice system and a reason why the system should be reformed. Brown was eventually granted clemency. Former Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam, citing Brown's transformation while behind bars, commuted her sentence last year.
I am sorry for taking our parents and our kids. You know, I wish I can take it back, but reality is that we can't.
Up next video, the New Mexico Supreme Court on Thursday has upheld the life sentence for convicted murderer Nehemiah Griego. In 2013, Griego shot and killed his parents and 3 younger siblings when he was 15 years old. Griego was initially sentenced as a juvenile. However, before he got out at 21, prosecutors successfully argued that he had not been rehabilitated and was still a danger. A judge then sentenced him to a life sentence. Griego's attorneys appealed, arguing his sentence was cruel and unusual punishment. The court rejected both those claims. In 2019, a district court judge found him not amenable to treatment as a juvenile and sentenced him as an adult to the state prison system. Griego, who is now 27, will be eligible for parole when he is 52. Nehemiah Griego's attorney released the following statement: "It is easy to give up on children who commit terrible crimes and write them off as hopeless. But, the truth is that these crimes are rooted in trauma and mental illness, and many of the children involved can and will eventually be rehabilitated." Instead of offering this chance for Nehemiah, by finding his 3 life sentences to be cruel and unusual punishment, the Supreme Court's decision means that he will spend his life in prison for crimes he committed as a child. New Mexico should protect children from the cruel fate Nehemiah is now facing, not give up on them, Jaramillo said. Follow this morning's release of the court's ruling. Up next video. In December 2018, Daytona Beach, Florida, was rocked by a shocking crime involving a teenager named Damon Kemp. Damon, a bright student with no prior criminal record, was accused of killing his 2 friends, Trey Ingram and Jordan Patton. The tragic incident has left many perplexed, as Damon was known to be a straight-A student, a loving son, and a good friend. The question on everyone's mind is, what could have led to such a horrifying turn of events? Damon Kemp, originally from New England, grew up in Stone Mountain, Georgia, under the care of his mother, Robin Howard, who worked as a security officer. Known for his love of dancing, basketball, and a strong desire to become a music engineer, Damon was a well-liked young man with a promising future. But that future was abruptly derailed on December 7, 2018. On that fateful day, Damon approached police officers investigating a home invasion in Daytona Beach. He was visibly distressed and breathless when he made a shocking confession: "I killed my friend." This unexpected admission led officers to take him into custody immediately. Damon provided no additional details at the time, leaving investigators to unravel the mystery. 15 hours into the investigation, police discovered an apartment at 434 Jimmy and Drive, where a bullet hole and a shell casing were found near the entrance. Inside, they discovered the bodies of 19-year-olds Trey Ingram and Jordan Patton, both of whom had suffered multiple gunshot wounds. Trey, an amateur boxer and a former high school football star, was a student at Bethune-Cookman University. Jordan, his childhood friend, had known Trey since elementary school. Friends and neighbors reported that Damon and Trey were close and often worked out together at the same boxing gym. Damon had previously lived with Trey but moved out in October 2018. It became evident that something had shifted in Damon's behavior. Quincy, a friend Damon met at Bethune-Cookman University, recounted that Damon had become increasingly paranoid and erratic, believing people were out to get him. This erratic behavior culminated in a bizarre incident where Damon tried to crawl into bed with Quincy out of fear. On the night of the crime, Quincy drove Damon to Trey's apartment. Around 1:50 a.m., another resident, Cyntoia Maktar, encountered Damon pointing a firearm at him. Cyntoia managed to calm Damon enough to close his door and call the police, which led to the officers' arrival and Damon's disturbing confession. At the crime scene, police found an unloaded .40 caliber Glock, an empty extended magazine, and $400 in cash. Damon was acting erratically, captured on police body cam footage, speaking incoherently about Trey Ingram. Trey's half-sister, LaDoris, was playing an online game with Trey earlier that night and heard him say, "It's only day," referring to Damon. She also heard Trey's dog barking and Trey asking Damon why he was pacing. Autopsy results showed that Trey had been shot 4 times, and Jordan 6 times. Damon was charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and burglary with assault for a separate incident the day before. During his court appearances, Damon continued to display erratic behavior, leading to speculation about his mental health and potential drug use. In a jail phone call, Damon later admitted he was high on substances during the crime, stating he only remembered smoking weed but suspected something else might have been in it. Despite this, Damon denied having any mental illness. His defense team requested a psychological evaluation, revealing he might have been suffering from untreated mental health issues exacerbated by substance use. In early 2024, Damon's trial began. The prosecution presented a strong case focusing on his confession, forensic evidence, and witness testimonies, arguing that Damon's actions were premeditated. The defense, however, pointed to his mental health struggles and possible drug-induced psychosis. Despite the defense's efforts, the jury found Damon guilty on all charges, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case of Damon Kemp remains a tragic example of how mental health issues and substance use can contribute to senseless violence. As Damon begins his life sentence, the families of Trey Ingram and Jordan Patton continue to seek closure and justice for their loss. Up next video. The Mikadyn Payne Friends case centers around a tragic event involving a group of high school students in southern Utah who were charged in connection with the death of 16-year-old Mikadyn Payne in February 2023. Payne's death, which resulted from an alleged prank gone wrong, raised significant attention and concern over the use of physical force and bullying among teens. Mikadyn Payne, a student at Desert Hills High School in St. George, Utah, died after an altercation involving several friends. The incident occurred during a so-called prank where Payne was reportedly restrained by several friends, and one of them punched him in the chest. This prank, referred to as a chest punch, involves forcefully hitting someone in the chest to cause temporary breathing difficulties or a reflexive gasp. Unfortunately, Payne collapsed shortly after the punch and was later pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. Following Payne's death, 5 teenagers were charged in juvenile court. 3 of them faced charges of homicide by assault, while the other 2 were charged with obstruction of justice for allegedly trying to cover up their involvement or downplay the seriousness of what occurred. The charge of homicide by assault in Utah typically applies when someone causes another person's death while committing an assault that is likely to result in serious bodily injury. The death of Mikadyn Payne devastated his family, friends, and the broader St. George community. Payne's family expressed deep grief and frustration over losing their son to what they believed was a senseless act of violence disguised as a prank. The community mourned the loss of a young life and called for more awareness and preventive measures to address bullying and the dangerous consequences of risky behaviors among teens. The Mikadyn Payne case underscores the dangers of pranks and physical bullying among adolescents and raises questions about the responsibilities of those involved and how society addresses such actions in the justice system. The case also highlights the need for greater awareness around safe behaviors among teens and the importance of early intervention to prevent similar tragedies in the future. What about you? What do you think about the issue we raised above? Please comment and let us know. Thank you for listening. God bless you. See you in the next video.